All right, thanks very much, Brian. Media Matters, the left-wing organization dedicated to taking down Fox News, is under the microscope after the Daily Caller website uncovered emails showing that it colluded with the Justice Department to craft takedown pieces of critics. Well, Republican Congressman Blake Farenthold says it could cost Media Matters its tax-exempt status, Eric.
Yeah. Let's talk about that for a second. They're tax-exempt, which means what? But by the way, how much money do they save being tax-exempt?
Well, what it means is if you donate to Media Matters, it's tax deductible. And so they're able to attract more donors that way.
And so you believe that in that case, should somebody be fair and balanced, or should somebody have a bias?
It's not a matter of what I believe, it's a matter of what the law says. And the law says you can't be advocating for specific political candidates. You're supposed to be non-profit, you're supposed to be things like, the American Cancer Society, traditional charities.
All right, let's talk a little bit about what the Daily Caller has uncovered through the Freedom of Information Act. They found emails going back and forth between this Tracy Schmaler, who's the top spokeswoman at the DOJ, to Media Matters, which a lot of people think is a left-wing propaganda organization. Do we want our Department of Justice going back and forth, having this tight of a relationship with an organization like that?
And that's actually more what I'm concerned about, is you expect the Department of Justice to be an objective arbiter, but when they're collaborating on their press with an organization that clearly has a political agenda, that's what worries me most, is the DOJ being involved there.
So here are examples of some of those emails that went back and forth. Media Matters' Matt Gertz to Tracy Schmaler at the Department of Justice. Hi, Tracy. I'm working on debunking what I think is a conservative myth about Operation Fast and Furious and was hoping you could help me out. That was July 8th of 2011. Tracy Schmaler to Media Matters on the same day. Here's what I got back from budget folks. Matt Gertz from Media Matters back to Tracy Schmaler. Thanks again for your help. Here's the piece. So when you first saw some of these emails, what was your reaction?
Yeah, my reaction was, obviously the government and the media have a relationship. If you guys want to know something about what I'm doing in my office, you ask and I come back and give it to you. But going to an organization and basically helping them spin a story, I think, is over the line, certainly for the Justice Department. It clearly doesn't pass the smell test.
All right, so it doesn't pass the smell test. What should happen? Should Eric Holder fire Tracy Schmaler today?
I'm not calling for heads, but I do think this is a perfect example of the mismanagement in the Department of Justice.
Well, why aren't you calling for heads?
It's the DOJ
going for heads?
If we're going to call for
we have a situation where the Department of Justice is emailing a left-wing blog asking them to put a story out there.
It's Eric Holder's head, I think. If somebody needs to go, it's Eric Holder. You've got Fast and Furious at his doorstep. The IG report came out yesterday that said, well, he probably didn't know, but he should have known. And that's a culture of deliberate indifference, and it's pervasive through the Department of Justice. This is just another example of the DOJ gone wild.
All right, Congressman Blake Farenthold. Did we say that correctly?
Farenthold, close enough.
Farenthold. Okay, a Republican from Texas. Thanks for your time today.
Pleasure being with you.
Thank you, sir.